Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that helping your clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about what they eat or coming to the gym a few hours a week. We, as gym owners and coaches, have to focus on a holistic approach, looking at support systems, stress management, sleep, mindset, lifestyle, and of course, exercise and nutrition. I'm your host, Nicole Coyne, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to make one step at a time to becoming the best nutrition coach and building an awesome habit-based coaching program. Today, I interviewed Faul. He is the newishly appointed CEO of CrossFit. He's been in this role about 5 months at the point of this interview. In today's podcast, we discuss the vision of CrossFit and where CrossFit affiliate owners fit in. We also talk about this disconnect between the sport of CrossFit, what you see all the crazy athletes do at the games, and what is actually happening inside of CrossFit gyms. Man, I have goosebumps even thinking about it. We also talk about the comeback of CrossFit Health to serve the purpose of bridging the gap between fitness and healthcare, specifically around educating healthcare professionals on the powerful tool that CrossFit can be to transform health and lives inside of gyms. We talk about the future of CrossFit EDU and some initiatives that are coming down the pipeline. Make sure you stay tuned until the end where I talk about some of the thoughts that I have from today's interview. Before we get to this interview, I have a really exciting announcement. Healthy Steps Nutrition and HSN Mentoring is newly appointed to the CrossFit APN, Affiliate Partner Network. Most of you know that we've had a great relationship with CrossFit for many years, and as a CrossFit affiliate owner, I understand why it is so important to have a professional nutrition coaching program to have a greater impact in your community. As a part of the APN, now we have a really great opportunity going into the new year and the future of helping CrossFit affiliate owners really prioritize nutrition inside of their gyms. I am so excited. Some of the additional perks that happen if you are a CrossFit affiliate owner is number one, special pricing for the challenge intensive. If you're planning to run a nutrition challenge but don't want your nutrition program to end at the end of the challenge, that challenge intensive is a really great standalone option for you. There's also a standalone nutrition coach training and CrossFit preferred nutrition coaching course that you can get preferred pricing on. The real magic happens with mentoring though. This is the turnkey solution to give you everything you need to plan, launch, and grow a professional nutrition coaching program. Over the past 7 years, we've had the opportunity to help thousands of gym owners and coaches around the world through the mentoring program. And this really sets gym owners for success. There's 2 visions we have with this program. Number 1, set the business up for success. And number 2, help coaches feel really confident and grow a nutrition coaching team. There's some additional perks with that program as well. You can go to growyournutritionbusiness.com/APN to get all of the details of this program. So excited for this awesome new partnership with CrossFit. All right, let's get to this interview with Faul. Don, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Well, thanks for having me. I am equally excited.
Well, we had a chance to meet at the CrossFit Games, and your first week on the job as CEO. Pretty awesome week, if I could say so myself. But it was really interesting to kind of hear your story, hear your background. For our listeners who don't know, I'd love for you just to spend a couple of minutes talking about what led you to the position you are in today as the CEO of CrossFit.
Oh gosh, what an interesting question, because I've had quite an unusual route. So I guess, the starting point for me, is growing up. I grew up in a little town in New Jersey and was really blessed to get exposed to sports and athletics early on. I always say I was a very enthusiastic, but unfortunately, relatively mediocre athlete growing up. I wanted to be great, but I just enjoyed having a chance to play sports. Got a chance to play sports in college, and so for me, really being an athlete and competing and being fit has been a core part of my identity my whole life, and so that's probably the early foundation for it. I have a little bit of an unusual path. I spent some time in the military, went to the Naval Academy undergrad, spent 6 years then in the Marine Corps after graduation. And when I got off active duty, kind of made a right turn in my career. I loved my time on active duty, was ready for something different, and ended up going to grad school and then spent the next 15 years or so working in technology. And so worked in a number of consumer internet companies, Google, Facebook, Pinterest. And then my last company was kind of a step back to my passion around sports and fitness. So I worked at a little startup called Athos, and we made compression apparel with embedded sensors that track muscle activity. And so intersection of this passion I had for sports and fitness and human performance, and the opportunity to kind of overlay that with some of the experience I have with technology. Absolutely loved that amazing experience. And at that point, right around that time, I got involved and really got started with CrossFit. So I started in 2014, fell in love with it. It's had a huge impact on my life. And so that brought me to, roughly 6 months ago, when this opportunity came along and felt like that somewhat random circuitous path I've been on had prepared me perfectly for this opportunity.
It's pretty interesting to look at, obviously you have a passion for CrossFit, but the military experience and CrossFit HQ, I've been watching a little bit, obviously Dave with his background in the military, but you guys have done some really incredible things, really helping equip the military with their level 1. I mean, I had a chance to talk to Amy Hollingsworth at the CrossFit Games, and she's like, Nicole, it sold out, like it filled up. There was an overwhelming amount of people in the military that wanted to get their level 1. And I think it's really cool that we could equip them with that ability. And I think there's a lot of future with the military and CrossFit.
Oh, no doubt. And I think in a lot of ways, it's kind of getting back to our roots. As you probably know, a lot of the early days of CrossFit were with the military and first responder community. That's where we started. I think we share a really similar ethos. Actually, a lot of our culture and the culture, that I experienced in the Marine Corps, there's so much overlap. And so it's really cool for us to, it's always been an important community for CrossFit. And now there's this renewed opportunity to do more there. And I think it's great for us. I think it's great for, our service members and their families. So very excited to see what's in store there.
Yeah, me too. I've listened to you go on a few podcasts, and I feel like, it's CrossFit's so interesting, right? I feel like we're definitely cult-ish. Like we love it to a point of a fault, right? Mm-hmm. I read a quote not recently, it was a few years ago, but it was talking about Greg and how he ran CrossFit like a cause, not a business. Right. And if you think about it, like the way things were run, I would love to just kind of hear where we were and where we're going. Like, where is this North Star? Where do you envision CrossFit 5 years, 10 years? And how are you rallying the various teams, the affiliate team, the games team, the training team around this central vision? Yeah,
it's well articulated and obviously very top of mind and super important for us. And look, I'm here because I wanted to work on a cause. And yeah, CrossFit is and will be and can be an amazing business as well. But first and foremost, like the passion that brought me here, and I think that if you talk to the vast majority of people who work at HQ or even in the community, whether affiliate owners and coaches, partners in the ecosystem, I think 99% of folks would say exactly the same thing. And so for us, it's when I think about the future for us, it's continuing to be driven by that singular mission and purpose of helping people and changing lives through CrossFit. And so now what I think will evolve and needs to evolve, like any normal company or business as you grow, is the way that we get there. And so, and really, I think that's a really good way at a very high level to articulate the strategy moving forward, which is how do we stay true to what makes and has made CrossFit so unique and so special and what made it so revolutionary in this space? How do we make sure we preserve that? And yet, how do we think about this next chapter for us, which when you ask about North Star, that North Star for us is reaching more people. It's about member growth. How do we expose the vast majority of the world that has not been able to experience CrossFit yet? How do we give them exposure to it in a way that works for them? And so we're spending a lot of time now thinking about, how do we support our affiliates? How do we support coaches? How do we partner with the folks in the ecosystem who are doing amazing work? How do we lift up and tell our stories so that we can, for those folks who are sitting at home, who have heard of CrossFit that may think, it may not be for me. How do we help them understand that CrossFit truly can be for anyone? So that's at a high level, that's what you'll see and expect from us telling the story, us trying to reach new audiences, but grounding all of that work in the fundamental principles that make CrossFit so special from the beginning.
Awesome. I think when you think about this story, right, you've got grandmas who are doing CrossFit, you have elite athletes that are doing CrossFit, and there's everyone, and the vast majority of people find themselves in the middle of that. But what I think and I just got off a affiliate roundtable and we were having a discussion of like, what is this? Like, okay, we're having this conversation. What would you want to ask? And one of the guys said, Nicole, there's this big disconnect between the sport of CrossFit and the community and like what is happening in the boxes. And when you look at, marketing efforts and all of these different things, there's a lot of effort around the games. Right. And then there's all these people, all these transformations that are happening. I know you guys released the email that people can submit their stories to. And I hope that that's something that is going to be moved forward. So more stories that are happening inside of boxes get pushed out. But where do you see, obviously you do see the disconnect, but where do you see HQ aligning to help bridge that gap?
Yeah, it's a great question and one that I've heard quite frequently and one that we spend a lot of time thinking about. And, of the long list of things that got me really excited about this opportunity, and I think the assets and advantages we have, sport is part of that. And the question for us now is we've got this incredible asset, this sport that people love watching, that is such an opportunity to celebrate our community. How do we best leverage it to reach new people? Because I think if you look historically, sometimes there's tension, right? If you're sitting at home and the first exposure you have to CrossFit is the CrossFit Games, and you're watching a Tia or a Justin doing some insane feat of fitness, it may be interesting and cool, but it also might send the impression or message that, hey, gosh, that is definitely not for me. And so what we're thinking about now is how do we leverage those moments? How do we leverage the energy and the excitement and the reach of this amazing sport that we have? We have, what is approaching a mainstream sport, what an advantage that is for us. How do we better leverage sport to reach more people? And so you started to see a little bit of that at the Games this year, where we made a really deliberate effort at the Games to do two things. First, in the stories that we exposed and showed, you saw more everyday athletes. So it wasn't just the Games athletes, doing ring muscle ups. It was someone who looked like you or I or anyone else who was watching, participating in CrossFit, showing people how it can be scaled, how it can be accessible to anyone. So that was a really big push. You're going to see a lot more of that. That is a big priority for us. The second thing is really lifting up affiliates and coaches and making sure that people know that, like at the end of the day, for the millions of lives that we've impacted and changed, that's happened. All of that has happened through an affiliate or coach. And so at the Games this year, we made a really big investment in putting, affiliates at the center. We had a huge footprint there. We try to really celebrate the work that's happening there and making clear to folks who are participating as part of the community that there are these, over 13,000 of these incredible places around the world where, these affiliate owners and coaches are waking up every day and helping people in ways that are fundamentally life-changing. So those are some of the things that you'll continue to see us working on. Sport will continue to be important for us. Now it's really about how can we be most leveraged in service of this goal of reaching more people.
And I think, when you look at, okay, if affiliates are at the center, if we have more people with the boots on the grounds, if we have more affiliates, that means more CrossFit trainers, that means more people are impacted. It's going to go back to the overall North Star of getting more people exposed to the brand in general. Obviously there's been a lot of effort put into the affiliate team. You've got that team is exponentially growing. I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of them, and Gary and the rest of them. They're all amazing. And all of them have such a passion for helping affiliate owners. One of the things that I've been a part of, those district meetups, like the in-person meetups. And sometimes as an affiliate owner, you feel like you're on an island sometimes. And when you can
for sure
get together with other affiliate owners and realize, hey, we're all here. We're all doing the same thing. Yes, it's not the sunshine and rainbows every single day. And there's long days, there's tough days, there's all of the things in the middle. But like at the end of the day, we have the best opportunity to change lives and transform people's health and prevent chronic disease, reverse chronic disease. And it really starts from all the hard work that our gym owners and trainers are putting in every single day.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's interesting. I've had over the last 4 months, big priority for me is just getting out in market, meeting with affiliate owners, meeting with coaches, meeting with members of our community, listening, asking questions. And so I've gotten a chance to do that in the US. I've also gotten a chance to go to Australia, spend time in Latin America and Brazil and Ecuador. And one of the things that has really struck me is this insight that you just touched on, which I think we can do a lot more to reinforce, which is this notion that like running a small business is really hard and it can be really lonely. And, our affiliate owners are working exceptionally long days, waking up early in the morning, coaching a good portion of the day, keeping the lights on, paying the bills, you name it. And that can be a really, really lonely endeavor with lots of challenges and lots of ups and downs. And look, like, again, it's the purpose and the mission that pulls people through. And every time that I get out now and spend time with people, you can see members of the community, their eyes light up. And to a person, even for folks that have been around 10 years, saying, gosh, I forgot how energizing this is to be around like-minded people who are, working in service to the same mission, who are struggling with a lot of the same things that I am. And it shouldn't have had to be a reminder for me, but it reminded me like one of our greatest assets, if not our greatest asset, is this community that we have. And part of our responsibility is making it really easy for members of our community to engage with each other, support each other. It's another thing we have. We have an incredible, are there locally sometimes a little bit of competitive dynamics that exist within affiliates? Of course, that's kind of nature of the beast. We are a competitive type people. But I think what's overwhelmingly more positive is the spirit of wanting to give back and support the community and help each other. And so those in-person meetups, investments in things like roundtables and mentoring, these are the types of things we want to invest in, where we just make it easier to connect with other folks in the community who are like-minded, who are going through a lot of the same challenges.
Yeah. And you guys have done a very intentional effort over the past year, I would say, of putting different things together, the playbook, roundtables, the meetups. I think it's interesting when I think about, we had a different path of opening up our gym. We started working with gyms, and I realized, I told my husband one day, I was like, if we're going to really help these CrossFit affiliate owners, like we have to own a CrossFit affiliate. So that was our path. But for most gyms, I think gym owners, affiliate owners, they went to a box, they fell in love with it and realized, I want to do this in my community or down the street or wherever else. And, we all opened up our doors because we wanted to help people. But historically, your CrossFit affiliation paid for your CrossFit name, and there was no support. We had to figure out all of that stuff. And every one of these affiliate owners is struggling with the same thing. How do I raise prices? How do I negotiate my lease? How do I onboard new staff? How do I provide a professional experience that's consistent? And if we could all work together to save time and not reinvent the wheel and have some structured things from HQ, like, hey, here's the best practices. If you're struggling with this, here's this person to reach out to. I feel like at the end of the day, all of us are going to get better.
No question. And, I think what we are realizing, you touched on it, like 10 years ago, the experience was, with affiliation was you throw the CrossFit name on the door. At that point, the community was growing really fast. That was kind of it. And then every affiliate owner is kind of up to you to figure it out. And there are all of these questions that you articulate that are really important. And if you haven't done it before, that learning curve can be really steep. And I think a lot of affiliate owners get into it, not because they're necessarily passionate about running a small business and negotiating leases, but if you want to deliver an amazing experience and to your members and invest in your coaches and have a little bit of breathing room, those things really, really matter. And so, I look at that, we look at that as it's our responsibility to support that. And one of the best ways that we can do that, we're a small team. We've made a bigger investment, but we're under 200 people supporting a community of millions of people, tens of thousands of affiliate owners, hundreds of thousands of coaches. And so one of the best ways that we can help answer those questions and do it in a scaled way across every country around the world is by better tapping into the community and helping, our affiliate owners connect with and help each other.
Awesome. Are there any specific efforts that you want to bring up? Like what does the future look like in regards to affiliate support going into 2023, 2024? Like what's evolving, what's changing? What are you guys doubling down on for affiliate support?
So I'd say there are, two big themes for us next year and kind of more to come on this. We're going to get back to the community. I owe the community an update on the plan for next year. So you'll hear more on this in early next year. But I'd say thematically, there's two big things, and we just touched on it for affiliates. One is how do we do a better job of connecting our community and helping affiliate owners, coaches connect with and support each other. That's a big one. And we'll play an important role in that. We want to support that with the materials and assets that make those conversations constructive and efficient and seamless. The second big thing that we'll invest in is really on the business side of running an affiliate. I think historically we've done a really good job on the coaching side, investment in training and education. We have an amazing team. We haven't done that much on the business side. And there are folks in the ecosystem who have done an awesome job and candidly filled the gap. We know we need to do more there. And that's going to be an investment for us and really helping. I think about it as if you're an affiliate owner who's been around for 10 years, you figure this stuff out, probably the hard way. How do we compress, what is normally a 10-year learning curve and get you that information in your first 3 months, maybe before you even open your affiliate? So these really important decisions that all have a huge impact on how you run your affiliate. How do we help you make better decisions really early on? So that'll be the second area that's a really big investment for us next year.
Awesome. So more in like the application stage of applying for an affiliate, like support from that point.
I'd say more broadly, the business side of running an affiliate. How do we help with that? Identifying the most important questions, getting you the resources, connecting you with people who can help.
I think the cool thing about CrossFit affiliates is every single one, it uses the methodology, but every single one is a bit different in how we use it, what the experience is like. Big picture, we all want to transform lives, but how we actually take that methodology and put it into practice in our business kind of varies between what the business owner wants, what the vision is of each specific gym, each specific business. But at the end of the day, there are some fundamental things that need to be figured out that are across the board for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's a really important, I'd say, principle that is very front of mind. I think one of the beauties of our community is that we have enabled and allowed a lot of innovation. With that very hands-off approach, we can tap into the creativity and expertise of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world who can try new things and teach each other. And so that is really important. That is who we are as a community. So the approach we take on this won't be we're not going to move to a place where it is here's what you must do. The way I think about it is our job is to provide our affiliate owners, our coaches with more information. They're going to make the call and make the decisions, and hopefully we make it a little easier for them to figure out how they make the decisions in a way that works for them.
Love it. So here's some information. Do with it what you will, but hopefully we can save you time and mistakes if you actually follow the information that we give you. All right.
Exactly.
Let's switch gears to the EDU department. So it is no surprise that there's a ton of stuff coming out with EDU, different courses, different online courses. The DDCs were probably back in the day before COVID. Karin headed up these like MDL ones is what they called them, that have now turned into the HCP L1s, probably one of my personal favorite initiatives that has been started just to get healthcare professionals together. I see a huge priority in CrossFit talking about health and reversing and preventing chronic disease and kind of bridging this gap between fitness and healthcare. CrossFit Health is talked about on a regular basis. Where do you see that piece of the puzzle going?
And specifically in terms of the role of CrossFit Health, or how we think about really enabling better health outcomes for people, or both?
I think both.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the starting point on that, I think when we think about our long-term vision, again, it really comes down to how do we reach more people? And when we say reach more people, like fundamentally change their lives. Like, so for those of us that, like, for folks who have had the opportunity to experience CrossFit, it's not just about getting in better shape and improving your Fran time, et cetera. It's about actually, really rounding out and improving the richness of your life, enabling you to do more things, connecting you with the community, improving your health outcomes, allowing you to do things in your daily life that you didn't otherwise. I mean, these are stories that are so incredible and amazing. We talk about fitness being a state of super health. Like, that's not going to change. That remains the long-term vision for us. It is CrossFit in service of improved health and happiness, for people. And so, what we, in CrossFit Health, our investment there has been a big part of trying to shape, I think, and shift the perspective and mentality when it comes to driving health outcomes away from, let's call them downstream clinical interventions, and move them upstream to better lifestyle decisions that can fundamentally change your life. That is, that will continue to be our sweet spot and down the lane and down the center for us. And I think the work we do through things like CrossFit Health, in tapping into the medical community, in educating folks and exposing that to the, our broader community, so that they can start to think about CrossFit as not just getting in shape per se, not just getting more fit, but an investment that can lead to much broader and more profound opportunities for them. So that's going to continue to be investment for us, and we'll do that through one of the things we do best is education. And so you'll continue to see that. I'd say on the education front, one of the big priorities for us next year is really thinking about how do we make it easier for people to engage with our education assets. So what we produce, I've been in, the CrossFit community now for about 8 years. I just did my L1 4 months ago. It was amazing. And, I am in the short term not going to be a coach, but I loved every part of that experience. And the minute I finished it, I thought to myself, gosh, I wish I'd gone through this 6-7 years ago. And I think there are a lot of people like that who would benefit from, who are passionate about their health, passionate and eager to get educated and understand how to make better decisions. And so when we look at where we are today, we have this incredible competency and expertise. I think we're the best. I'm a little biased, obviously, but I think we're the best in the business in this. Yet there are ways where I think we make it hard to engage with. Most of our courses are, a lot of them, the vast majority on volume, are in person. They're reasonably expensive. And so I think there's a lot that we can do in service of educating people to really look at how do we innovate on our current model. We're extraordinarily good at creating this educational content. How do we think about making that content more accessible to people? Again, not just affiliate owners, not just coaches, but to every person who's passionate about CrossFit and better outcomes. So that is going to be a really big focus for us next year.
I think one of the struggles I hear often from affiliate owners is, I need more coaches, I need more coaches, I need more coaches. And if more just members in your community became a coach, you would have a pipeline of people that could potentially be a coach down the road, right? So getting more people exposed to that level one, I agree with you 100%. I absolutely loved the level one. The level two was a eye-opening experience for me and a gut check, but that was a great experience as well. Even the online level one is really good. It's a really good option for people. But I think you're 100% right. CrossFit is so good with education, and we just need more people to be going through that. You guys just released the level 4, which I remember being at a certification board meeting prior to COVID, like the week before shutdown started happening, and it was in the pipeline, then obviously got pushed back a little bit. But that's super exciting that now the level 4 is so level 1, awesome course. Level 2, really good course. Level 3 is the certification, just online course. And then level 4 is like, let's have practical evaluation of you coaching classes essentially.
Yep, absolutely. And that's a huge credit to our team. That is a monumental achievement, not only within the CrossFit ecosystem, but fitness writ large. I think, when you look at how most fitness professionals are certified and trained, they sit in front of a computer or sit in front of a piece of paper, and they answer a bunch of questions. When you think about the fundamental nature of, think about it as a CrossFit member or someone who's been coached. It's not just the information. It's not just the recall and the knowledge. It's how you engage. It's the interaction. And now take that to a complexity of doing that for an entire class. And so, we have the CrossFit Level 4 is the first of its kind. I think it's incredibly innovative in the space about how do we, articulate and assess consistently, reliably, sustainably what true excellence is in a practical application, and provide through that a North Star for fitness professionals that, again, I'm biased, but represents like the true apex of achievement in our space. And so it was a long time coming, an enormous amount of work, super proud of the work the team did.
It's super exciting because, there's a small amount of people that are level 3s, but now they're going to have something to work towards level 4, the highest certification. And, I think it's going to be a really awesome experience for a lot of people. The unbiased way that you guys are evaluating, you worked with a third party to get the evaluation criteria. So like, it's going to be really, really awesome. When do those start? Do you have any idea? I think they start in the next couple of months.
I agree. I don't know the exact date, but I think it's in Q1.
What's interesting to me in CrossFit in general, right? We're always looking to get better, improve. We score our workouts, we redo workouts because we want to improve. And I think as coaches, we want to improve as well. And this is another way to get evaluated by the best in the industry to see, where do you stand up? How can you get better? How can you improve? Because at the end of the day, I think we're all in this business because we have a growth mindset and just want to be able to help people, impact more people. And at the end of the day, if we're better coaches, we're going to be able to impact more people.
100%. And this point ties back to what we were talking about a little bit before. So things like the level 4 represent that assessment. So, hey, I'm going to put it online and see how all this work that I've been doing has paid off. And we are, again, a competitive tribe. With that, and I think coupling that with the investment we're going to make next year to make it easier for continuous education to be an ongoing thing, an everyday thing. So it's not just historically for us. It's not, hey, I need to refresh my L1 or L2 every X years. It's, I should be thinking every day, every week about the small things I can be investing in and doing to get a little bit better. And we know that for our best coaches and our best affiliates, this is already happening. We just want to make it a little bit easier to engage with the amazing content that we have so that, again, that development, that improvement is something that is always top of mind. And then you've got these awesome experiences like the L4 where you can put it to the test.
I love it. Shameless plug. All of HSN mentoring is approved for CrossFit CEU. So you can get a ton of CrossFit CEUs with all of our content, which is super exciting. One of the things that you were talking about with the HCP L1s and getting more healthcare professionals is the ability to connect those healthcare professionals. I would see that being like the next step, like let's connect these healthcare professionals, kind of like we're trying to connect the affiliate owners. I think, as an affiliate owner, I want to send my clients to a doctor or a physical therapist or a chiropractor that also believes in the methodology. So many people have this notion of, you might get hurt during CrossFit. The last thing I want to do is send my clients to a chiropractor that says, don't do CrossFit. That's not good for my business. And I don't believe what they're saying. So being able to connect those people, like a map or something like, hey, these are the CrossFit healthcare professionals that have been through their level one that are aligned with your vision and mission so that we can create this ecosystem for our members to get support outside of just the fitness classes that they're taking at our gym.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting idea. And, we've got today our affiliate map, but we're thinking a lot about how to enhance that and how to make it easier to again, give members of our community the opportunity to connect. It's funny when you think about this, like I can't tell you the number of times when I'll talk to a family member or a friend who is struggling with something, whether it's like chronic low back pain or high blood pressure. And I'll talk to them and they'll say, went to the doctor, got prescribed X drug. And, versus in almost everyone, not every one of these cases, but in the vast majority of these cases, hey, get to a gym. And we know how powerful fitness can be. So how do we make, to your point, make it easier for people in the short term, connect with those like-minded medical professionals? And then two, really, how do we reach more of, through things like the work we're doing in CrossFit Health, how do we reach more of the medical community and medical establishment so that it's not as hard to track those folks down?
I think there's a really cool opportunity because the people that are in the medical profession that love CrossFit and want to get the word out, want to get more people. And if we can connect, we're all going to be stronger together at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So nutrition, the foundation of the fitness pyramid is nutrition. We've been talking about nutrition a lot. The first 13 words of fitness is nutrition. Every gym owner understands nutrition needs to be important, and very few gym owners know how to take those first 13 words and put it into an actual coaching program to help their clients reach amazing results. Where do you see nutrition fitting inside the affiliate to help people achieve better results and build more sustainable, profitable businesses because you're adding revenue stream? Where do you see nutrition fitting in?
Probably a question I should ask you, huh? For your recommendations on this. Here's what I'll say at a high level. It's one, I have a family who is, let's call it nutritionally challenged. So I've got two kids who have celiac, and I've got some of my own as I get older challenges with it. My wife and I, our family has, over the last 5 or 6 years, had to get much better educated and much more disciplined. And going from, I would have said 10 years ago that my wife and I, both athletes, that we were both really healthy. But I look back at the way we used to eat and our level of ignorance, candidly, when it came to basic fundamental nutrition, was really high. And, getting smarter in some ways because we were forced to, it's had a huge impact on our life on so many dimensions. I mean, these are things I'm preaching to the choir here. I know you know all of this, yet I think I suspect for a lot of affiliate owners, I suspect they would say, yeah, we get it. We understand it. I don't think you're going to get a lot of people who disagree with it, but figuring out how to integrate it into their affiliate and create programs that work for people that support them is a real challenge. I think there's enormous opportunity as you talk to in terms of, look, if you just look at the net impact of how helping people improve their diet, the impact it can have on their life, it just enhances all of the gains they get from fitness and in ways that people don't even fully understand. And for the affiliate owner and for coaches, it's another opportunity to build an incremental revenue stream that can be really, really beneficial for them. I suspect, and I would love your thoughts on this, I suspect it's really about the pragmatics. Like, how do we build these programs? How do we deploy them in our gym? How do we get our coaches educated? How do we tap into the resources in environments where, again, the average affiliate owner and their coaches are extremely busy, don't have a lot of free time and cycles, probably orient most of their time to the logistics of running their box and then to the fitness side of coaching. And again, I know nutrition is part of fitness, but so I really think it's about figuring out, how do we make it easier? How do we give them resources, best practice? How do we, through the community, connect them to affiliate owners who have figured it out, who have some ideas that they can borrow and use in their own gyms? What do you think?
I think that's it, right? Gym owners are overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. They understand nutrition is a really fundamental piece. There's informal conversations, or maybe when you sit down with a new potential member, hey, nutrition's really important. All right, let's go teach you how to deadlift. Let's go teach you how to squat. And there's all these informal conversations or, challenge trap. I wrote about it on the CrossFit Journal back in 2016. Gym owners run challenges. People see good results. The day after the challenge is over is the day their clients go back to the old habits and there's no ongoing support. And people are just waiting in this middle period of when you're going to run another challenge again. And my hope is that gym owners realize the impact that you can have is exponential when you have an ongoing coaching program where you're providing accountability and support. And when I look at the gyms who've done it on their own, and we have people that we work with and end up coming up under our umbrella, they are overwhelmed because they don't have the systems in place to be able to deliver a professional experience. And unlike fitness coaching, I can go into my 6 a.m. class or I can go into my 6 p.m. class and I can know, are they teaching the same program? Is the warm-up the same? Cues might be different, but the workout's the same. Like everything is pretty similar, right? Different coaches, but similar experience. For nutrition coaching, if you don't have systems in place, behind closed doors, you don't know what's going on with that client and how they're getting coached and the follow-up. And then you have one person who's checking in every day with clients and you have another coach doing something different. And there's millions of different diets out there. People are overwhelmed. And if you don't have a clear, consistent message on, okay, what is your nutrition philosophy? How are you going to deliver a professional experience? It ends up being so diluted and gym owners just end up giving up and saying, all right, we're just going to go and focus on the fitness side.
What do you think we could do at HQ to better support affiliate owners in this or partners like you who are doing this work?
And one of the things that was funny, I went on the CrossFit podcast back in like 2017 and I was talking to Savan about it. And I know you've been on his podcast and he was like, we're talking about how HSN grew. And I am such a firm believer in let's just put it out there. Here's how to do it on your own. Like I'm an affiliate owner, just like the rest of these guys. Like I just want to help you be able to make a greater impact in your community. Like I'll give you the resources. I mentioned this to some of the education team, but we wrote those CrossFit Journal articles back in 2016. If affiliate owners are looking at those now, not the best practices anymore after helping thousands of other gym owners and coaches, like maybe going back and updating that and giving some more resources so that gym owners who want to do it on their own, they have a framework so they don't have to waste time and not reinvent the wheel. Like, for instance, pricing and packaging. Like, what does that look like for nutrition coaching? What is it? What do initial consultations look like? What am I actually delivering to clients? How do I keep clients accountable between in-person visits? Because what I realized with nutrition coaching when I started Healthy Steps Nutrition is I thought I could just tell people what to do and then they would run off and do it. But then in reality, that's not what people need. Like they need someone keeping them accountable. They need something simple that they can be consistent with so they can see results. And they also need to understand how sleep is impacting nutrition decisions, how your nutrition is impacting your sleep, and how stress management and your support system and all of these other factors. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a 5-way street, really, because they all integrate together. And when people can create something that they can deliver a consistent experience, I mean, the research shows clients are worth 2.5 times to your business. They see exponential better results. They refer more people. You end up doing really cool things like employee wellness and going out into your community and you're reaching people that you would have never reached before, and they would have never come into your CrossFit facility.
Love it. And I think it's for us, I think investing in that way, we can lean on some of those really unique assets that we have. We have this amazing community. We have an amazing set of coaches who have built really trusted relationships with their members. We are pretty good at, and when I say we, not just HQ, but we, HQ and our partners are really good at creating great educational content that we can get in front of affiliate owners and in front of coaches. And look, obviously, to your point, the gains you have here are just enhance the benefits you're already getting and take it to a whole nother level. So, but also to your point, the piece you mentioned that really resonates is, and I'd say for my personal journey, the accountability on nutrition for me is harder than the accountability on fitness, because it's not just the hour that I'm in the box. It's not just getting myself there. It's the rest of the day. And so figuring out how you have that additional accountability layer is really, really important.
Absolutely. Well, I want to wrap this podcast up. So nutrition is obviously important. If you're a gym owner or a coach and you're not addressing nutrition, think about how you're going to do that in 2023. The Open is right around the corner. What, as we wrap up today, like what would you say to gym owners, coaches regarding the Open and why they should be involved and get their community involved in the Open?
There's a couple things. I remember my first CrossFit Open, I think it was 2016. I'd been doing CrossFit for a little over a year. I was already totally hooked on it, but I had heard about this thing called the Open. I had not experienced it. And I remember walking into, my local box. It was NorCal CrossFit at the time. The first day of the Open, nervous, a little anxious, and just remember the level of energy and excitement and dynamic was crazy off the charts. And there's so many parts of that were so cool and memorable and remind me and really enhance like what is so unique and special about CrossFit, the things that I think most members love. It's the challenge. It's the little bit of the fear and excitement of like putting yourself out there and like stepping into the arena and being like, I am willing to be tested. It's the satisfaction of seeing the progress that you've made every year. It's the celebration of the community. It's a little bit of that competitive dynamic of the person who's next to you, but also the like everybody cheering each other on and folks who get a PR. And then just, I think for me, it is such a powerful way to experience the CrossFit community. It's I think the biggest moment of the year where as an individual member of the community, you see every element of it, from the community inside the box that our affiliate owners and coaches create to being part of a competition that hundreds of thousands of people, including some of the best athletes in the world and some of the folks who are in the like first stage of their fitness journey and have never described themselves as an athlete, they can all participate and compete together in one competition. I think it's just amazing. There is nothing like it anywhere else. And so I'm fired up to test myself, a little anxious, a little nervous, but that's part of it. So I hope everybody, I'd encourage folks to sign up for it, to see how they've done over the course of the past year as we climb out of COVID. We're pretty fired up about it.
No, I think you mentioned this a couple of times, but the community aspect, I think, is why all of us fell in love with CrossFit. Like, yes, the fitness methodology, but the community and the people that are encouraging each other. And in your everyday life, you don't really get that as much, right? So, making an intentional opportunity for your community to encourage each other and an opportunity for people to push themselves, likely more than they would push themselves in a class. The amount of PRs that we see our members get is like, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. The amount of PRs that happen in our gym during the Open. And those people are capable of doing those skills outside of the Open, but it's that extra push and that community cheering everyone on and that nervousness that everyone has that gets them to a point of pushing themselves. And at the end of the day, we're all looking to get better. The intramural Open, that's what we personally do at our gym. We break everyone up into teams. It's an awesome way for people that go to AM classes to meet PM class people. I mean, shoot, I met my husband at our CrossFit gym. I worked out in the AM, he worked out in the PM. So it's a way for you to connect with, force your members to connect with each other, especially if you set it up like doing a Friday Night Lights, which I know a lot of affiliate owners do. And I'm personally thankful that it's only 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks like it used to be. Like, let's knock it out in 3 weeks. It's a busy 3 weeks and then be done for the year. But at the end of the day, it allows you to create an intentional opportunity for you to connect with your members and for your members to connect with each other to create a stronger community.
Well said.
Awesome. Well, Don, thank you so much. I'm sure you are excited, but I'm so excited to see the future of CrossFit and where you guys are going. Clearly affiliates are at the heart and the center, and you guys supporting affiliate owners. So I'm hopeful to see what comes out in the future. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to chat with me today.
Well, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it today, and thank you for the really important role that you play in the community as well. You're an amazing partner, and I know you help a lot of affiliate owners. So thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that episode with Don Faul. So many things to unpack with that episode. Before we do, I want to let you know of a brand new free training that we have. I recorded a training on some of the fundamental pieces of building a successful nutrition coaching program in a gym. As we enter into the new year, gym owners are thinking about how am I going to level up my service to provide my members with a greater experience, to provide them the support and accountability they really need to transform their health and their lives through nutrition and a habit-based holistic approach. Well, in this training, I talk about how to price, package your program, how to find a person to run it, how to deliver a professional experience, and answer some of the most popular questions that we get asked. All you need to do is click the link in the show notes, say, give me access to this free training, and you'll get immediate access. I hope that you find it super helpful. I know it has taken some of the best practices that we've come up with over the past 10 years at Healthy Steps Nutrition to give you some free help to kickstart your journey to building a nutrition coaching program. All right, let's talk about some of the things that we talked about in this podcast episode with Don. The first thing I want to bring up is the continuing education. This is not the first time that I've heard there's going to be some changes with continuing education, and I'm really excited about it. You know, many healthcare professionals, professionals that have certifications and licenses have to have continuing education units every single year. I know for my dietitian license, I have to have some every other year, a certain amount for the Florida license, but then my standard registered dietitian license, we also have to have a bigger set that we turn in every 5 years. This is a standard practice for many professionals out there. So in CrossFit, CEUs were only required for the level 3 and the level 4. By what Don was saying, I think some things could maybe change with that. And I want to let you know that CEUs are available with HSN mentoring. You get 30 hours for the initial training, 7 hours for the challenge intensive, that 1-day training, and 9 hours every 6 months. So when you're with our mentoring program ongoing, you get CEUs for the mentoring calls, the training educations that you're a part of. You're investing in developing yourself. You should get CEUs for that. So we have it approved. It's super easy for you to claim those CEUs if you're an HSN mentoring client. And if you need those CEUs, another reason to partner with us. No, we talked a lot about bridging this gap between the sport of CrossFit and the lives that are transformed inside of gyms. And I think it's going to be a big undertaking for CrossFit. You know, the vision and what people see with CrossFit on CrossFit Games channels and lots of things is the super elite fit athletes. And the truth is most of us gym owners do not cater to those people. We cater to the general population who's looking to get healthy, get in shape, and looking for communities to support them along the way. We really need to be bridging this gap. And if we want more people to come inside of a CrossFit gym, it has to be less intimidating. So one of the things I would challenge you to do if you're listening to this and you're a gym owner or a coach is take it into your own hands. Start sharing the stories of people that you're transforming inside of your gym. CrossFit hired a marketing or PR firm to capture these stories from gyms. So say you have a story, to take that story and push it out. I'll be curious to see how that actually works and how effective they are at capturing these stories. Right now, there's just an email that you can submit to. I've personally submitted a couple in there and haven't seen them anywhere yet, at least at the time of recording this. So I'll be curious, and it is really, really exciting. I know there's so many stories out there of the lives that have been transformed. So I hope those get pushed out into the greater media so that more people can be inspired to walk inside of a CrossFit facility. Now, if you are an HSN mentoring client, we are doing the same thing. We have split up our HQ location, social media channel, and the main Healthy Steps Nutrition brand for a couple of reasons. But one of the reasons is I'm going to start using that Healthy Steps Nutrition main channel to highlight you guys that are running our program, that are transforming people's lives through nutrition, habit-based approach, using that holistic framework.
Now, over the past year and a half, HSN HQ we as a team have gone to gyms that have been running our program, Capturing Stories ourselves. So we're going to start with all of those, but eventually the goal would be you guys send me yours so that I can share your stories as well. Sharing stories will inspire other people to understand, hey, you can help me too. And I hope that you guys invest some time and effort into capturing more stories going into the new year. Now, so much is coming up with HSN Mentoring. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. We're going to have announcements before and after each podcast. Next week, we have our State of the Union podcast episode where I talk about some of the highlights that gym owners are doing in HSN Mentoring. And we also have an awesome special interview with John Acuff, one of my favorite authors. He wrote Soundtracks. If you have some downtime and you're looking for an Audible, highly recommend that Audible book called Soundtracks. It is how to overcome overthinking. And overthinking is when what you think gets in the way of what you want. I'm pretty sure all of us have a little bit of overthinking that we have to overcome to get out of our own way and make a greater impact in the community. Well, hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Don't forget, if you are a CrossFit affiliate owner, go to growyournutritionbusiness.com/APN to get all of the details now that we are officially a part of the affiliate partner network and an official partner of CrossFit. We'll see you back here next week.